You're listening to The Women in the Arena. I'm your host, Paige Rene, former collegiate athlete turned leadership entrepreneur for women just like you. Each week, I'm bringing you a new person or message to help you expand and elevate into the woman you know you're meant to be. Now, let's step into the arena. Hey guys, welcome back inside the arena. We've had quite a few guests lately, and so I haven't gotten on here to talk to you directly, but I just want to take this podcast and pretend that you and I are sitting on the couch in the living room. We've got a candle lit. It's cozy. We have tea and coffee, and we're just having a conversation because there's a lot of things that I've been thinking about in business and in life that I think are so important. So it's going to be a little more flowy today. And I think that's typically where the best organic conversations come from. When I go into interviews with women who are on the Women in the Arena podcast and I get to ask them questions, I do better if I don't have a ton of questions prepared or I don't have an agenda and I just have kind of an outline. And so we'll get a little bit messy, but I think there's a lot of magic in the mess. Ooh, maybe I should name a course, Magic in the Mess. So I have really been messing around with messaging for a while since October, probably October, November of 2023. And by messaging, I mean, how do I talk directly to you? Like, how do I say, I hear you, I see you, and I have a solution? That's a lot of what marketing is, right? And it sounds simple, but when you create something that you've never created before or that you haven't seen created before, it's really hard to figure out exactly how to speak to who you want to speak to. And I actually say that not because I want to talk to you a lot about my business, but more so because I want to give you the permission to be messy, to find the magic in the messy, meaning like when you're flailing and you don't have an idea quite figured out, but you're willing to keep taking a step in that direction. Or if you know that you're coming into a season where you want to make a change and you're like, oh, something's got to give. And maybe you're at work and you're like, okay, I know that there's something more for me and I'm ready for what that is. That's a really big first step. But then when you don't have it all figured out right away, it's really easy to get stuck or like analysis paralysis or talk yourself out, right? And so it's just hard. It's hard to be in the sticky stuff. And that's where I feel like I've been with my messaging. But I listened to a podcast this morning, and the most impactful thing I heard was that there is one word in the dictionary that guarantees success. One word and one word only. And that word is persistence. And listening to that really almost took my breath away because it's really, really true. And it's also a really great reminder that like, I'm so proud of where I've come from and I am going to keep going and I'm going to figure this messaging out. And so if I'm talking to you about this, I want to give you the permission to keep going. Whatever that dream is or that nudge that you've been feeling restless about, that's keeping you up at night, that you're like, something's got to give, or I really want this to happen, but you feel like you're talking yourself out of it or you're getting in your way or there's imposter syndrome. Keep being persistent. Keep putting one step in front of the other. Imagine confronting that scary thing that you're thinking about. Okay, so like imagine if you have the opportunity to take a leap and start something. Okay, I say start something, meaning it could be entrepreneurship. It could be turning something that you've done on the side for fun into income. That's obviously how I am driven. And so that's a lot of my examples. Or honestly, it could be starting a new gym or hiring a trainer or running a race, one of those things. But I actually want you to really anchor in on something that you feel like has been on your heart, but has been really scary. And I want you to rank that on a scale of 1 being the least scary to 10 being the most scary. So I'll give you an example from my life. If I am thinking of relaunching Elevation, which is what I'm in the middle of, and I think of going all in and going through the complete launch framework, which if this sounds like Chinese to you, really all I mean is selling a product in a specific, or a service rather, in a specific period of time. That's what a launch is just having like a finite time where you are selling something that you've created. So if I'm going into that launch and I know that I want to make X amount of dollars and I set that goal for myself, that is scary to me because all the fear comes up. Well, what if you don't hit your goal? Like, what if there's only 5 women in the program and they wanted 10? And, what if you look like a failure, right? All of those things come up. They do. But I would probably rate the scariness of that, I would say at like a 7. Because that feels really scary to me. Like, that's my business. That's my baby. It's scary. So I want you to rate what that scary thing is to you. If you were to do it, if you had the permission, giving yourself permission to just go for that one thing, how scary would that be? Would that be a risk? Would it be an emotional risk? Would it be a financial risk? Are you somebody that's paralyzed by uncertainty? Is it a big risk in uncertainty? Most likely yes, or it probably wouldn't feel scary. But there are some people that are scared of certainty all the time. I'm one of those people. If I knew what was going to happen all the time, I feel like I'd get uncomfortable. But some people are scared by certainty. Some people are scared by uncertainty. You kind of have to find a balance in between the two. But what I'm saying is I want you to give that a number, that risk that you're thinking of, that thing that you've been wanting to do, give that a number from 1 to 10. How risky would that be? Typically, when I ask this question, there's like 8s, 9s, 10s. There's all kinds. Okay. So then pin that for a moment. And now I want to invite you to think about yourself when you have left the earth and you're in heaven and you're talking to your maker, and your maker says to you, here is a successful person, and they're showing you a reel of your life. If you really go for that thing, here's all that could have been. And you're watching that reel of your life. All you're going to be thinking of is, wow, I really should have done it. I really should have gone for it. I really should have done that thing. And I think that is so much scarier than not going for it. You're going to wish that you had in that moment, right? And so here's your wish granted. We're still here. We're still on earth. We still have opportunity. Hell, even in this year, we're in March. There's 9 months of opportunity. Right? So I want you to think about that. Now, how scary is your risk? Now, how scary is it compared to looking back at your life and seeing how successful you would have been maybe if you had taken that leap? You guys, when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I had very few examples of women in leadership positions. And sometimes when I shared what I was building with my friends or with my coworkers at the time, they just didn't really get it. Even when I wanted to create some new goals and talk about those ambitions, I didn't feel like I had a community of women to share that with, which is why I found an online community of other multi-passionate, like-minded women. If you can relate, join us in our Rise Facebook community where you get free weekly coaching, a network of amazing women who are also in the arena, and you're the first to know about the latest offers. Women leaders rise together. See you inside our Rise Facebook community. You can find the link in the show notes. Again, I heard that scenario on Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy podcast, and it was Dean Graziosi who was speaking. And if you don't know who that is, he took one of Tony Robbins' courses a long time ago, and it drastically changed his life. And so Tony went from being Dean's mentor to his business partner. And so that is very much watering down how successful he is. He has multi-best-selling, New York Times best-selling books. And so anyways, the point is, I was so moved this morning that I literally took out my paper and I wrote down the names of these people that I feel like just freaking went for it. Lori Harder was one of them. Dean Graziosi was one of them. Tony Robbins was one of them. And then I sat there and then I added my name to the bottom of that list. And I know that might sound a little bit corny, but any opportunity that you have to give yourself permission to think bigger, any opportunity that you have to give yourself permission to think bigger, go bigger, believe bigger, I think you should take it, because you won't hesitate to talk yourself out of something. You won't hesitate to question whether you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough, pretty enough, fit enough, tall enough, whatever enough, right? So give yourself permission to really think about, what am I doubting myself out of? And what if I just go for it? I think it's really easy to think about the fact that we're so used to that instant gratification a lot of times. Especially if you're a successful person or a high achieving person, you're so used to starting something, knowing what it takes to succeed, and then finding that success pretty quickly. You're resourceful, you're smart, you're intelligent. But the thing that is a little tougher is that persistence. When you're in an arena where that new thing that you want to do, that risky thing that you want to do, doesn't turn out perfect right away, I want you to remind yourself that the only guarantee of success is persistence. Persistence is the only guarantee of success. So you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You can imagine, I work with a lot of athletes. You can imagine that Tom Brady's in the NFL. I know he's retired now, but he's in the NFL and he's in the Super Bowl. He doesn't get there without thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of reps. So remind yourself that you have so many more opportunities of reps you can take towards your dream, and you have to be willing to flail. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to pivot, to redirect, to change course. You have to be willing to let your ego get hurt. Like, that was really hard for me. And it still is, but you have to be willing to show up again and again and again until you succeed. A winner is just somebody who tried one more time. So I say all of that because I think that I'm not here to say anything super profound to you. I'm not here to say, hey, this is going to, drastically change your life, or it's going to be some new piece of information you've never heard before. But I think we seriously underestimate the value of reconnecting to our truth, of reconnecting to the things that we know we're capable of, that we feel deep inside, keep us restless up at night. I remember, still working for somebody thinking, I know that I am meant to do more. Like, I know that there is something bigger on the horizon for me. And I don't think that I was given that desire by mistake. It is that fire burn in my belly. And it's like that. Something has to change. And if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know if I felt that, it might be small. It might just be a spark, right? But you can make that bigger by taking steps in that direction. Pay attention to what draws you in. Is it a person? Is it a speaker? Is it the idea of being on stage? Is it the idea of running a podcast, right? Is it the idea of collaborating, of creating a community, of expanding and offering more in the position you do? What is that really drives you? And then how can you take reps in that direction? I think it's really, really important. All right, you guys, that's all that I have to share with you for today. If there's anything else you want me to expand on, I'm always open to that. Just DM me on Instagram, Paige_Rene 15. And until next time, go get in the arena. See you guys later. I hope today's episode inspired you on your journey in the arena. Make sure to check out the show notes in the description for a rundown of today's show with all the important links. If you enjoyed this, please share with a friend. I know how much it means to me when my friends share podcasts. Leave us a review and let us know what landed with you over on Instagram at Paige_Rene 15. As always, your best bet is on yourself.